Good afternoon to everyone. Hello.
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon,
sir.
sir.
We will start.
Yes,
We will start.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Today, the very interesting topic is the lacrimal apparatus. हाँ बाबू, हम थोड़ा सा हम ऑनलाइन पढ़ा रहे हैं, 1 घंटा लगेगा, तब पढ़ा लेंगे। हाँ हाँ दीजिए ना। For any organ, for cleaning purposes, there should be a running of the water or any lubricant. So far as eye concerned, there is a special structure that always clean the eye, always bath with the tears, and lubricate the two surfaces. One is the ocular surface, cornea and conjunctiva. Another is the lower portion of the lid. Lid always rub on the globe, and it is lubricated by tear. And there should be the a very good flow of the tear, and the drainage of the tears, it should be the proper drainage. For that purpose, there is a apparatus that is lacrimal apparatus. Lacrimal apparatus having two parts. One is the secretory one, another one is the drainage system. For lubricating or cleaning purposes, there should be continuous running of the tear, that is from the secretory portions, and after secretion, the total tear, it should be drained out properly, so that watering not over the face. For that purposes, there is a proper draining system. One is the secretory system, another one is the drainage portion. This is the two portion of the lacrimal apparatus. Means the lacrimal apparatus having two parts. One is the secretory one, another one is the drainage portion. In the secretory portion, there is a lacrimal gland and its duct, and another is accessory lacrimal glands of Krauss and Wolfring. The lacrimal gland is situated, it is tubuloalveolar gland located in the anterolateral portion of the roof of the orbit in the lacrimal fossa. In our eyes, there is a nasal portion and temporal one. In the temporal portion, outer side and upper side, there is presence of the lacrimal gland like a cloud. बादल की तरह या दोनों साइड में, टेम्पोरल साइड में ऊपर में है, यार बादल की तरह वहां से ड्रेन करता है. एज नेचुरली बादल हमेशा ऊंचाई पर रहेगा, वो अपना वो बारिश करेगा, प्रेसिपिटेशन होगा, तो उसके बाद उसका ड्रेनेज लोअर साइड में जाएगा. वैसा ही हमारे आई में ऑन द टेम्पोरल एंड अपर साइड देयर इज ए टू lacrimal gland in both the sided, and there are the duct about 12 in number open in the fornix of the upper lid. So lacrimal glands having a particular tubuloalveolar gland and its ducts. Ducts open in the fornix of the upper lid. And the second one is accessory lacrimal glands of Krauss and Wolfring. These are situated, gland of Wolfring are situated on the upper border of tarsal plate. Inlid and tail is the skin, tarsal plate, and inside is conjunctiva. Upper and lower tarsal plate, just above the tarsal plate or above the tarsal plate portion, there is a gland known as Wolfring's. And the gland of Krauss located deep in the conjunctiva in the fornices, mostly on temporal side. In such a way, secretory portion having two glands. One is lacrimal gland and its duct, and second one is accessory lacrimal glands. In accessory lacrimal glands, there is two types of gland. One is the gland of Wolfram and the gland of Krauss. Come to the drainage portion, via which the drainage of secretion into the inferior meatus of the nose. Tear from the glands pass the total eyeball and it travel to the medial side in the cul-de-sac, and there is two puncta, two openings. There is fine canaliculi, upper and lower two canaliculi combined to form a common canaliculi. This common canaliculi opens in the lacrimal sac. That lacrimal sac having a nasolacrimal duct that is opens in the inferior meatus of the nose. This is the natural route and natural flow of the secretion or the natural flow of the water that is secreted from the lacrimal gland or accessory lacrimal gland that is flowing from puncta to the canaliculi, then common canaliculi, then lacrimal sac, and then nasolacrimal duct to the inferior meatus of the nose. This is the common flow of the drainage portion. One thing I want to say, there is two main special conditions. As we know that the lacrimal apparatus consists of two parts. One is secretory portion, another is the drainage portion. Condition may be two is what? There may be more watering of the eye. There may be more watering. Tears will come on the face. One condition, in this condition, watering may be due to either more secretion of the gland, either is there any obstruction in the drainage system. Obstruction may causes the overflow of the tear or water. And another one is if the drainage system is proper, then there may be the excessive secretion of the gland. So there are two conditions, the watering eye, another one is the dry eye syndrome or dry eye disease. In this condition, there is no proper watering. Condition is two, one is more water, another is less water. Then the watering eye is another condition, and dry eye syndrome or dry eye disease is the another condition in which secretion is less. This is main two condition. It will discuss later. Prior to that, I am going to start the disease of the lacrimal apparatus. For each of the chapter, I decided to proceed in such a way. Okay, disease of the lacrimal apparatus. In this, the disease of the lacrimal gland. In this condition, swelling of the lacrimal gland. The lacrimal gland is swell up. Disease of the lacrimal gland. Another is disease of the lacrimal passages or drainage passages. There are two types of disease. One disease is the secretory portion disease, that is disease of the lacrimal gland. Another is the disease of the passage. Disease of the lacrimal gland means kya? The disease of the lacrimal glands and accessory lacrimal glands. Another disease of the lacrimal passage is there may be atresia or obstruction of the puncta. There may be the obstruction of the canaliculi. There may be the obstruction of the common canaliculi. There may be the obstruction of the nasolacrimal duct. All these are the situations that is related to the disease of the lacrimal apparatus. The disease of the lacrimal gland, in this condition, acute dacryoadenitis, another is dacryops, another is Mikulicz syndrome, and there is the tumors. All these are the four conditions that is related to the disease of the lacrimal gland. In this condition, swelling of the lacrimal gland occur. Means Like first one is acute dacryoadenitis. Another is dacryops. Another one is Mikulicz syndrome. Next one is the tumors of the lacrimal gland. This is the diseases related to the lacrimal gland. Another is the diseases of the lacrimal passages. Canaliculitis, that may be the acute canaliculitis or chronic canaliculitis. Another one, occlusion of the puncta and canaliculi. Another one is congenital nasolacrimal duct obstruction, basically in the children, infants. Another one is dacryocystitis. This dacryocystitis, dacryo means lacrimal, cyst means lacrimal sac. Dacryocystitis. This is divided into congenital dacryocystitis or acquired dacryocystitis. In acquired dacryocystitis, this is two types: acute dacryocystitis and chronic dacryocystitis. In such division, we go through the disease of the lacrimal apparatus. One is the disease of the lacrimal gland, and another is the disease of the lacrimal passages. In disease of the lacrimal gland is acute dacryoadenitis, dacryops, Mikulicz syndrome, or tumors of the lacrimal gland. And disease of the lacrimal passages is canaliculitis, acute and chronic. There may be the occlusion of the puncta and canaliculi. There may be the occlusion of the NLD obstruction, that is congenital nasolacrimal duct obstruction. Next one is dacryocystitis. Dacryocystitis may be congenital dacryocystitis, and there may be the acquired in the later life. In acquired dacryocystitis, there is acute dacryocystitis, and another one is the chronic dacryocystitis. All these are the diseases of the lacrimal apparatus. Next, we go and want to tell something a little about the glandular diseases. That is acute dacryoadenitis. It is usually accompanied of systemic diseases like mumps, influenza, or glandular fevers. As you know, in mumps, there may be swelling of the lacrimal glands. It is characterized by acute local pain, swelling and tenderness, and drooping of the outer part of the upper lid with characteristic S-shaped curve. If the gland is swelled, then the upper lid forms S-shaped form. S-shaped. This shows the acute dacryoadenitis. Any acute condition, it is treated with conservative manner. Symptomatic, there may be antibiotics, there may be painkiller, all this thing. And chronic dacryoadenitis, a proliferative inflammation of the lacrimal gland, may occur as a part of generalized granulomatous disorders, syphilis, tuberculosis, or sarcoidosis. It presents as a painless, unmobile swelling of the lacrimal gland. Another one is dacryops. It is cystic swelling in the upper fornix due to the retention of secretion owing to blockade of one of the lacrimal tract. Lacrimal gland having two portions, glandular portion and another is tubular portion. The tube of the gland, if obstructed, the secretion is not properly come out. Then there is swelling of the upper fornix due to the retention of the secretion owing to the blockade of the one of the lacrimal ducts. Treatment is surgical excision or marsupialization of the retention cyst via the conjunctival route. Next one is Mikulicz syndrome. It is characterized by systemic swelling of the lacrimal and salivary gland and may occur as a part of sarcoidosis and Hodgkin's disease and one of the or of leukemias. The Mikulicz is always associated with symmetrical swelling of lacrimal and salivary glands. There may be parotid, submandibular, sublingual. All these are the salivary glands. This is Mikulicz syndrome. Next one is tumors. There may be some lacrimal gland tumors. It may be found. Next one is disease of the lacrimal passages. The disease of the lacrimal passages is so interesting and having a very good treatment. That is, one is canaculitis. Canaculitis, acute canaculitis is usually due to herpes simplex infection and self-limiting. Chronic canaculitis is most commonly caused by actinomyces, Israeli. Chronic infection causes discharge, pointing punctum, and concretion with the canaliculi. It is also caused stone formation, that is dacryolyth in the lacrimal sac. A gritty foreign body sensation during probing established the diagnosis. The treatment of dacryolyth is by the linear incision into the conjunctival side of the canaliculectomy. Occlusion of the puncta and canaliculus. There may be the occlusion of the puncta, it may be the congenital closure or maldevelopment or foreign body like eyelashes. Sometimes eyelashes goes and block the puncta. Most common and concretion due to actinomyces. All these may occlude the puncta. That may be the congenital occlusion, that is malformation, and there may be foreign body like eyelashes, and maybe the infective concretions of actinomycosis. Scarring is due to, sometimes there is occlusion due to the scarring, either burn, cosmetic trauma, or infection, trachoma and herpes simplex. Medications, the examples are idoxuridine and phospholine iodide drops. Treatment is removal of the foreign body. Now that is, next one is, and dilating the canaliculus. Treatment person is removal of the foreign body or by dilating the canaliculus or slitting it with canaliculus knife in case of common canalicular block. If there is common canalicular block, conjunctive, there is conjunctivo dacryocysto-rhinostomy. Just it is the surgical process. You think like that. If there is obstruction in the canaliculus, then what we do? We have to make a passage up to the nasolacrimal duct to the inferior meters of the nose. If obstruction in the canaliculi, upper and lower, we make a passage through conjunctivo dacryocysto-rhinostomy. In cases, what we do? We make a passage from conjunctiva to the dacryo. We bypass the obstructive canaliculi. From conjunctiva, we go through the common canaliculus, from common canaliculus to the lacrimal sac, from sac to the middle meters of the nose. Natural opening in the inferior meters, but if we construct the opening, make a passage, we should accept the most possible shortest distance and each of the distance, that is in the middle meters. So there may be a make a passage from conjunctiva to the common canaliculus to the lacrimal sac to the middle meters of the nose. This is the operation done in cases of occlusion of the puncta and canaliculus. Next, dacryocystitis. One condition is congenital NLD obstruction. Some cases during running nose, epiphora may occur. If there is any obstruction in any passage system, this excessive watering is called epiphora. If we use the word epiphora, it is specify the passage obstruction. The obstruction may be at the NLD, nasolacrimal duct obstruction, or obstruction may be at the common canaliculi, or obstruction may be at the canaliculi, or at the puncta. This is passage obstruction. Due to passage of obstruction, excessive watering is known as epiphora. Now we go to the dacryocystitis. Dacryocystitis is an acute or chronic inflammation of the lacrimal sac. Dacryo means lacrimal sac. Dacryocyst मतलब lacrimal sac. cystitis, the inflammation of the lacrimal sac. We concern particular with the lacrimal sac now. Chronic inflammation maybe it is the sequelae to obstruction of the NLD or sac followed by bacterial infection. As we know, if there is any obstruction, it causes inflammation and obstruction. If there is obstruction, it causes infection. Infection causes obstruction and obstruction causes infection. It is the rule. There may be either ureter or it may be our NLD. In such cases, if there is obstruction, there may be the infection, obstruction, infection. Etiology. It is commonly seen among newborn infants. Congenital type. Middle-aged women 7 times more common than men because female having some ring ornaments in the nose. Another is so psychological. They always weeping. These two conditions sometimes causes this disease is 7 times more common in men than the female. Left side is more commonly affected. Left right 9:1 ratio. More common in lower socioeconomic status. Causes. What is the causes of this disease? Lacrimal passage proper, NLD block due to narrowness or chronic inflammation of the sac. Nasal factor. There may be some nasal factor because the nasal duct is open in the infant fetus. If there is any pathology, in the nasal cavity, it may reflect the disease of the passage system. The nasal factor, deviated nasal septum, hypertrophied intraterminate, or nasal polyps. All these, Ogiana, all these causes this pathology. Following a primary conjunctivitis, infection is spreading from the nasopharynx, organism responsible for that particular disease. Pneumococcus most common, Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, Mycobacterium, Chlamydia. Pneumococcus is most common in this case. It is acute types, acute dacrocystitis. If there is acute inflammation, acute infection of any organ, we first go to the conservative treatment because we not proceed for surgery because all tissues are friable in cases of acute infection. In acute infection, it subsided, all the surrounding tissue became healthy, then we proceed for the particular surgical step. Acute dacrocystitis, it is suppurative inflammation of the lacrimal sac with an associated cellulitis of overlying tissues. Onset is acute, there is painful swelling below the inner canthus, often combined with widespread cellulitis. The swelling is tender with enlargement of submanual lymph nodes. An abscess may often form with perforation of the skin just below the medial cochlear ligament, leading to formation of lacrimal tissue. In acute dacrocystitis, cellulitis is more. If cellulitis is more, there may be, because lacrimal sac becomes the bag of the pus. It is filled with the pus. If inflammation or infection is more and there is immunity of the patient is low, in such cases, surrounding tissue is always inflamed. There may be the perforation, that lacrimal sac, that is pus of bag of pus may perforate entirely. There may making an anterior fistula. It may perforate in the nasal cavity posteriorly. So the treatment of that is local hot compresses, broad spectrum antibiotics, topical antibiotics also given, systemic analgesic and antacids is given. In cases of lacrimal abscess, it is best drained by us in incision. If there is lacrimal abscess, it is not subsiding with our best treatment, then we proceed for the surgical incision to drain the pus. Any pus inside our body needs drainage. In case of lacrimal fistula, whether formed naturally or artificially by drainage, it is usually closes when the patency has been restored by DCR. The tract is excised along the dacrocystectomy operation. If there is fistula is formed, if you make a channel passage, but if fistula is present, the passage will not properly work. Then we have to first manage the fistula also. Fistulectomy and then incision to fill the gap. Next one is chronic dacryocystitis. This is the most frequently in newborn, infant and middle-aged women. The chief symptoms are watering and a chronic mucopollulant discharge of the inner canthus of the eye. Here, the word is always used. The medial canthus side is swelled up, no cellulitis. There is, if we press over lacrimal sac area, pus will come. This technical term is now told as Roplas positive. Regurgitation on pressure over lacrimal sac area, Roplas. If it is positive, means chronic dacryocystitis. No, means there is no any obstruction in the passage. The chief symptoms are watering and chronic mucopollulant discharge at the inner angle of the eye. There is regurgitation of pus, mucopus through the puncta on pressure over the sac area. All these are the disease concerned. That obstruction may be congenital, obstruction may be acquired in the later life. Later, we concerned with the treatment portion. 3 topics. One is watering of the eye. Next one is dry eye diseases. And third is investigation related to watering of the eye. That we'll discuss in later lecture, I think. In this lecture, we concern with now the treatment of the lacrimal passage obstruction. The pathological process, just assume, obstruction causes infection and further infection causes obstruction. The nasolacrimal duct obstruction leads to epiphora, or any lacrimal passage obstruction leads to epiphora. Due to obstruction of nasolacrimal duct, bacterial or pathological concentration increases due to insufficient drainage. Process is first acute dacryocystitis may occur. It converted to chronic dacryocystitis. Further, it converted due to obstruction of the both puncta and nasolacrimal duct. There is lacrimal mucocele. This lacrimal mucocele make a fistula, either anterior fistula, there may be posterior fistula. If it is anterior fistula over the skin side on the face and posterior fistula into the nasal cavity. It is the process and general route of the disease. First, it is acute dacryocystitis, changes to chronic dacryocystitis, changes to lacrimal mucocele. That lacrimal mucocele either it is make anterior fistula or it make a posterior fistula. The word is Roplas, I discuss you, and another is syringing. If we, with the syringe, if you syringing through the puncta, through the canaliculi, if there is no any obstruction in the passage, the syringe fluid is going from puncta through the canaliculi, through the common canaliculi, through the lacrimal sac, to the nasolacrimal duct, to the inferior terminate of the nose. It is the common route. If there is blocked, there is no passage of water and syringing is blocked in nasolacrimal duct obstruction. Treatment of chronic dacryocystitis. Just think, a very big journey of the treatment of the dacryocystitis. A journey is started from red hot iron to highly developed endonasal laser assisted DCR. It means in the ancient time, In the primitive persons, they are doing the surgery of this disease. They hot a iron rod, and a heated iron rod, they passes through middle side of the nose and make a big passage in the nasal cavity. So brutal, so barbaric surgery. And now the surgery is highly developed, endonasal, from the nasal side with the help of ENT surgeon. Laser assisted dacryocysto-rhinostomy. This is the highly sophisticated and more developed surgery. The journey is from a red hot iron rod to laser assisted DCR endonasally. So big journey of the treatment of that particular disease, the surgical treatment. In these cases, first treatment is probing and syringing. If there is partial obstruction, it may be clear up. There in partial obstruction, balloon catheter dilatation. And after that, dacryocysto-rhinostomy. See the word, dacryocysto, lacrimal sac. Rhino means nose. We make a passage, ostomy a passage between lacrimal sac to nasal cavity. That is dacryocysto-rhinostomy. That process, that surgery may be done by external, means from the face side, from the skin side. There is scar always visible, that is external DCR. Externally, from the skin, we go to the medial palpebral ligament, and just behind the medial palpebral ligament, there is sac, and we just separate the sac from the periosteum. There is nasal crest, anterior nasal crest, that is separated, and sac is totally come out, and there is a lacrimal bone. You remove, and then we make a passage from cutting the bone in the middle meters of the nose. So that is external DCR. From skin side, it may be done by anterior flap anastomosis. We make a flap. If any psyche structure, you can cut and make a flap. That flap may be U-shaped, that flap may be H-shaped. If you cut in the middle and extend to upper and lower, this is S-shaped flap, upper and lower flap. If you just cut like a U, uni flap. In cases of anterior flap anastomosis, we make a U-shaped bigger anterior mobile flap. In the lacrimal sac, also we make another flap in the nasal mucosa. After cutting the bone, we just fill the nasal mucosa. We making a U-shaped incision and make a flap having one base. And we anastomose means we just stitch both the flap from the nasal mucosa and flap from the lacrimal sac. It is stitched. There is a